Let's take you to South Africa, shall we? Now, where a Pretoria High Court has set aside the decision to place Jacob Zuma on medical parole, ordering the former president to return to prison. Now, according to the information, the choice to place the former president on medical parole was made by former Correctional Services Commissioner Arthur Fraser, one which the court determined to be illegitimate.
Now, the court also said the time Mr. Zuma has spent out of prison should not be counted in his 15-month sentence. Now, South Africa's main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, which is the DA, which was part of the legal challenge against the decision to release Zuma from prison, welcomed the ruling yesterday in South Africa. Now, joining us to really make sense of it all, we're joined by South African legal expert Benedict Phiri. Benedict, good morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast Central. Now, this is a very unusual situation. Has it ever really happened before, like a precedent in South Africa, and involving an ex-president like Jacob Zuma? Quite a character he is.
It is absolutely unusual. He really is rewriting the law books for us and the history books, because we haven't seen anything like this. But I think more importantly for South Africa, the rule of law trumping each and every single time and making it clear that even a former president is subject to the rules of the country.
All right. Now, Benedict, can you tell us what chances Zuma's legal team have in terms of fighting and even winning this case?
Zuma's legal team did file an application for leave to appeal the court order yesterday. The impact of that is that he doesn't have to go to jail just yet until that appeal is finalized. The DA and AfriForum and the others may try and argue against that, but we haven't seen that happening. So when the matter eventually comes on appeal, and it is being heard, my sense is that Zuma's team won't really have strong prospects of success here, because when you look at what happened essentially is that the former Correctional Services, Mr. Arthur Fraser, he wasn't entitled to actually put Jacob Zuma on medical parole, first and foremost. Secondly, assuming he was entitled to put him on medical parole, which isn't the case, the reasons he actually gave for putting him on medical parole are irrelevant, they are irrational, they are not supported by the legislation. So, you know, the chances of succeeding here are very, very short. Over and above that, the big thing happening with this matter, which I alluded to earlier, and the judgment speaks about this, is that the effect of putting Mr. Zuma on medical parole is to actually work against the constitutional court judgment that sent him to jail. And that speaks to a broader issue of the rule of law, the administration of justice. And I think the courts have been quite protective over those aspects. So from my perspective, former President Zuma will find himself in jail at some point in time.
Well, remember his ill health was really played out around the world and in the media of Jacob Zuma when he was first taken into the correctional facility. Now, Phiri, from a legal perspective, right, could this whole scenario result in any groundbreaking, precedent being set going forward from what you predict might happen?
I think certainly the court judgment from yesterday, not so much a groundbreaking precedent, but a stamp on what is actually involved in respect of medical parole. We've had a few high-profile politicians and others in this country that have abused the system of medical parole, which is why this legislation was tightened up to make sure that people that get medical parole are people that are absolutely deserving. These are people that are on their deathbeds and that can't get any treatment in the near future, or are so incapacitated that they cannot look after themselves. You can see there on your screen that the former president is not such of that, and none of the doctors actually confirmed that that was the case. So I think that is a big step that the court has actually put for this country in respect of how medical parole actually operates. And it's fantastic that it's being tested under such a high-profile case.
Now, Benedict, you're a legal expert in this scenario now. If the former president, that's Jacob Zuma, if he loses, does this mean he would spend Christmas behind bars?
The matter is unlikely to be heard before Christmas. We in South Africa now in a period between the 15th of December and I think the 10th of January where the courts are closed. So, it's likely only to come being heard again sometime in January, February. So he'll spend Christmas at home. and then he'll have to go back to jail when the matter is eventually heard.
All right, thank you so much, South African-based legal expert Benedict Phiri, for coming on Breakfast Central as we look ahead to this one. Pretoria High Court ordering Jacob Zuma to go back to jail. Doesn't look likely before Christmas, though. Well, thanks once again, Benedict Phiri, for coming on Breakfast.
Thank you.